trying to get this right without it falling all over the place. Hope you guys can kind of see me. Again, I'm using the cell phone, so it's a little messed up. Good enough. Today is July 25th. This is a vlog about the therapy today, which is rather intense, and emotional. We did talk about triggers. A few of them actually, like two, and then some things that I would have never thought of that actually compounds my triggers to make them worse. So the first one was actually about the whole rage outbreak that I had, anger. She called it anger, I call it rage. So that was kind of fascinating. But it's when my husband's nephew actually threw it in the backyard. Sorry about that. With the pesticide to kill the weeds, which is actually going to kill everything back there, the plants, the shrubs, the flowers, including the flowers that my daughter knows the best. The princess flowers, which I actually found out is called a trumpet vine. So next year I just have to replant them and stuff like that if I'm still here at this house. I'm trying not to plan ahead. Planning ahead just gives you a headache. So, sorry about that. Turn that fan off. I can hear a little bit better. And Chevelle's on, so you gotta listen to that too. I'm sorry, I took my Klonopin to calm down. After I came home, I was a wreck. For like the first 2 hours, I just could not think. My thoughts were bouncing around everywhere. I was like completely mushed. So yeah, it kind of sucked. Besides that, another trigger was still the grief for my daughter. So it's kind of like it's not that her loss is a trigger, because I just grieve, which is like normal to grieve. But the triggers are that the stuff around the house, like the flowers that she liked and stuff like that, and her candle that my husband lit, those are triggers because they actually belong to her. She liked them the most. That's the stuff that she played with. So stuff that's actually hers in the house can be considered a trigger. I just found out today. So from now on, whenever I handle her stuff or anything like that, I actually will ask for company. I am starting a trunk with stuff of hers from when she was a baby, like her favorite outfits, her shoes, some books, her favorite little toys when she was a baby, that kind of stuff. And when I do that, I'm going to need company because it's considered a trigger now, a trigger. If I said that right, I apologize. And I'm still there. Wow. So yeah, that's, I was kind of surprised to find out that that was actually a trigger. Didn't think it would be. But I'm kind of a protective mama bear, even though she's not here. Her stuff is still here. So it's like, yeah, you're messing with her stuff. It ticks me off. But again, I did swallow my pride. Not exactly sure how much more pride I can swallow, but I did swallow my pride and apologize to my husband and to his nephew. Actually, I've been swallowing a lot of my pride since he's been here, and some other people, another person stayed here, and I swallowed a lot of my pride too. So I think I'm starting to run out of pride, people. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. It really is. So, anyways, I'm trying not to keep this too long. And what she figured out, basically, was this thing called control. It's not like if you're in a relationship, you, like, have to control the person, or if you're cooking, you have to control how it's cooked, or you have to control certain things in life. It's more like a lack of control, in a sense, if anybody can understand that, of all the bad things that have happened to me. So, again, if you picture my life as a train, for instance, um, my train has been very bumpy, it's been on the tracks, off the tracks, completely derailed, back on. So my train's kind of icky, dirty, yucky, and I'm trying to polish it up in therapy, if that makes any sense. I will try to stick to the same analogies, so if it doesn't make any sense, I'm sorry, that's the first thing that popped into my head, so I'm going with it. Um, Another Chevelle song. Anyways, I'm sorry. So the control thing is like the lack of control or the loss of control where I can't control what's happening in my life. Examples would be um, stuff that happened with my birth parents or being placed in foster homes, being adopted, the death of my father, um, being physically assaulted. Um, I honestly don't feel like looking at the camera when I say those words, so I apologize. I'm a little uncomfy talking about it, which is part of the problem, actually. So, and of course, the loss of my child, the loss of friends, the loss of family, like the stuff that I can't control, I tend to stuff down, keep to myself, keep a secret, that kind of stuff. So, the worst part of, well, the worst aspect of the loss of control right now is the fact that I'm not facing my abuse that happened in the past. I have had a domestic violence relationship, which was like a roller coaster from hell. I don't know if anyone has actually been in one. Um, they completely suck. It's kind of like a up and down ride with a person, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type stuff. And, you know, and it's life is nice one day and just spending all this money on you for no reason, just trying to show you how much they love them, how much they love you. I apologize. And then they just snap and everything goes to hell and you wake up the next day with marks all over you. You can't move. Or in my case, I woke up in the hospital a couple times. Um, so that's a little tough to talk about. I actually have faced the fact that domestic violence is not my fault. I got plenty of time. So, if I'm talking fast, I'm actually trying to crunch my time down. I'm still on the cell phone, so I apologize right now about that. But it is a bit of a strain when you first come out of it because you like totally blame yourself. It took me a good 3 or 4 years to finally grasp the concept that it wasn't my fault that he done what he did to me. So, with some help from books and a couple friends that I met around town and meetings and that kind of stuff, you kind of learn to understand that, yes, this person did this to you, but it wasn't your fault. So, I'm pretty much over that. I really don't have any dreams about it anymore or flashbacks or stuff like that. Um, as for the other stuff, the physical assault, if you will, they there's 5 of them, so this is going to be a little tough. You guys, if you can work with me just a little bit, I don't want to dwell on this for too much longer. It upsets me a little bit, as you would imagine. Um, I know when I started my therapy, they asked for the full background thing when you were a kid to like the present. Um, and I know one of the first things, and it's actually not the first time I've heard it, because I heard it in rehab, and I heard it in outpatient rehab, and I heard it at the therapy center. It's a question, basically just, they asked, how could you survive this? Like, how could you not be in a padded room? And honestly, I never had an answer for no one, and I honestly still don't have a question, or an answer, I'm sorry, for it. Um, I had a icky childhood. First time I was assaulted was actually in high school by a friend of mine, so that was um, rather disturbing. After that, I kind of turned into a hermit. Um, I had friends in like all the different groups, the jocks, whatever, the geeks, the cheerleaders and stuff like that, but I never really had friends. I just like talked to them and stuff. So after that, I kind of stopped making friends in high school, and I don't know what to say. The other, I think one was enough. Um, Honestly, I do. If I'm laughing or smiling, I'm not laughing at what I'm talking about. It's more of a stress defense mechanism, so I don't dwell on my emotions and get bogged down by them. So it's not that I'm laughing at what happened. It's just that I don't want to get stuck in that feeling, and it's going to ruin my whole night if I get stuck in it. So, um, I know the other ones were just as bad. I think the worst one was when I was actually staying in Wine Dance. I'm not sure if anyone knows who that is. I'm not going to say where it's at. But I was staying with the family, kind of like as a au pair slash nanny type thing. And there was this guy in the black that was always like a perv. You know, just there's always a perv in somebody's neighborhood that you just can't stand. And I actually had like all three of the kids in the house. They're like small kids, so he comes up to the door saying that he had something for the mom that I was working for, or something like that. And I believed him. I went outside. Actually ended up getting dragged to the backyard. So, um, yeah, that was actually the only one that I was quiet for. Um, I didn't want the kids to come out or peek out the window and see what was happening. So, um, that was the one that I didn't make any noise while it was happening. That's the worst one that actually sticks in my head. Is I actually put up with this so that I could keep those kids innocent and safe, and they wouldn't have to see that. Anyways, so they kind of figured out that that with the loss of control in my life, um, that it's actually my PTSD, the post-traumatic stress disorder, is actually making my grieving process more influenced by the rage than any other emotion right now. So, And that kind of sucks. Yeah. I'm so weak. It's just water. So as you can imagine, this is hard to talk about, as well as in therapy. I personally can't stand it, but that's just me. So, um, but the whole PTSD thing, you kind of actually have to open up and let it out. You can't keep it in. So she is very good at that. I was having a good therapy session today, and it was a great session, just talking about my triggers. And we took a break for like a second because I started to get kind of upset. And she's the kind of therapist where she actually listens instead of just taking notes the whole time, which was my first therapist. He just took notes. And what she does is she actually listens, and she will compile what you've been saying, and she'll kind of toss in her thoughts as well, and just go, poof, what do you think of this? And that's kind of what happened today, and I wasn't quite ready for it. That's why I look kind of sleepy. I might be talking a bit funny. It's because I took my Klonopin. It was a bit more than I wanted to handle. So, basically, she does that and gives you time to think until your next session. So it is bad word. It is a bit much, with what's going on in the house, between my hubby and, his nephew and me I'm holding it together. There's just days that are worse than others. I'm sure anybody that's lost somebody knows grief kind of has its ups and downs, and you don't know which day you're going to feel what. So, today was kind of a happy day till therapy. After therapy, I'm like a complete train wreck, which actually kind of blows. Yeah. So that was unbelievable. So it's kind of a lot to think about, a lot to take in. The fact that, now that we've kind of figured out, what's holding me back, it's kind of like the little person inside of me is like screaming for help from all this past trauma, and I gotta fix the little tiny person inside to fix the big person outside type thing. And in order for my train of life to shine, so on to say, my little analogy, I actually have to go through this. And it is really gonna suck. It's gonna be a little harder than I thought. I mean, I know it's been a couple months since I lost my daughter, so, I expected grief and stuff like that, but, then you find out that you kind of have to deal with all this past stuff to help deal with the future stuff. So, it's kind of like you can't fix something that's broken, you gotta fix what's broken, then continue on type theory. And, I'm a little seriously broken inside. I got anger issues, rage issues. I think my last one was actually when, I was being attacked, by this person I was with. And I don't know how I done it. I blacked out, and I grabbed his arm, and I just bit the flesh off his hand. Didn't even know I done it. until I came to, because it tasted weird in my mouth. It doesn't taste too good. I'm not proud of what I done, but it was like a defense mechanism. I was pregnant at the time, and he was a threat. So it stopped him. I'll put it that way. Also, I'm at 20 minutes. I have anger issues. I don't fight anymore. I know when I was in grade school, I put a girl in the hospital. She had to have her forehead stitched, and that's because she picked on me because I was adopted. Actually, I was aiming for her eye, if you must know the truth. Junior high, same thing. I used to fight, but I had so many friends that, like, I never actually got caught. They would, like, hide me here, stash me there, or I'd, like, hop around the corner. So I was still the good girl at home, just not at school. After high school, I was with a boyfriend at the time, and there were a couple times where I got involved with some bad stuff, you know, and people screaming, get the F out the house, I'm gonna kick your you know what, and so on and so forth. And it's just like I could picture myself, and I was just like, I don't do that anymore. I chose to actually be called a chicken, or be called a pussy, or a wimp, or whatever you want to call me. It's a lot better than actually going out there and hitting somebody and blacking out and not knowing what you're going to do, because I know what I'm capable of when I'm angry, and I stay away from people. When I'm enraged, it's like I can see people and I don't hear anything. I don't hear a word you're saying. I just stare at you like, and it's like I'm not even there, and then I just snap. So I try to stay away from people. I will say one quick thing, if I got a little bit of time. I do one thing that I taught myself to do it subconsciously. So, like, I'm doing it, but I don't actually know that I'm doing it. I will go into a room or a bathroom, a bedroom, attic, basement, whatever, some kind of room that actually has a lock on it. So, all the doors in the house have locks on them, every door, which is awesome. So, I actually trained myself to lock a door behind myself when I'm enraged. Like, if I can feel it coming on, slam that door, turn that lock, and I don't even know I done it. I'm not doing it to keep myself in the room, because I'm mad. I'm doing it to stay away from everybody. I'm not laughing at what I'm saying. I'm trying to hide my emotions right now, which I do with grins or a giggle. It sounds weird, but it's true. So I actually taught myself that. It took about a couple of years to get it down packed. Um, so by the time, I get furious and I'm like about to bounce off the walls, I grab the doorknob and it's locked, and I have to stop and think, why is it locked? So sometimes it usually works. I'd say about 80% of the time it works. This spat that I had with my husband and his nephew, it didn't work. Um, it's like he just kept on going at me. Um, he brought in the bottle of pesticides in. He sprayed like 8 gallons. After I was trying to calm down, and I got fired up again. And then I calmed down, and then my husband said, well, you need to shut up and sit down and stop talking about it because he doesn't need to know. And I got fired up again. Like, I dare anybody to tell me when and where to grieve. I just could not believe that. So it was like a 2-hour rage-a-thon. So I do thank my mom. You are wonderful. I talked to her for about an hour and a half. She is, I can't say myself, the only person who I can tell my heart and soul to and not feel guilty. and she is the only person who can calm me down in about frickin' 10 minutes. Every damn time. It is amazing. I don't know what it is. That's the mom and Callie. My family in Florida, I'm not saying you guys don't calm me down. You do. I just don't want you to see me in that state, and I try not to stress you guys out, because you guys are stressed out enough with what's going on. So, not that you're not stressed out, the other mom. I'm sorry, you guys. I might be confusing you, but, it's like the best friend that, like, you always dreamed for. That's kind of how I put it. So she is awesome. Freaking love this woman to death. Anyways, I'm at 25, so I'm gonna go. That's my therapy thing for today. I'll probably do a journal later, if I get a chance. If not, then you hear from me tomorrow. So at least I found a base to get started. I gotta fix all my emotions concerning the things I couldn't control in the past to fix my future. Who would have thought that? Seriously. So, I'm going to start doing that in about a couple weeks. I actually need to find an anger management group before I start that. That's what I told my therapist, and that's what I plan on doing. I don't want to start dipping my head into the past and all the bad thoughts and the bad relationships and people cheating on me or beating on me or anything like that without having some support from an anger management group. Just to be on the safe side for my husband and his nephew. I mean, they're grown men. I'm sure they can protect themselves. But I'm a sneaky little person. I know what I can do. And they honestly would not see some stuff coming because I just don't look like that kind of person. So I do need to protect myself, learn how to control it better, to move on and heal myself. So with that, I will say that, I was raised Christian, as a lot of people know, but I don't actually believe in God no more. More of a different religion, shall we say. But I do believe that any God that you do believe in, I don't care what it is, would not give you more than you can't handle. So I know I feel like I'm about to crack in half. I'm so stressed right now and overwhelmed, and now I know what I have to deal with, and I don't want to do it, and I'm freaking out right now thinking about it. But if it's on my plate, then I know I can do it. It's going to be a bumpy road, but I'm looking forward to it. So I want to fix myself. That would be nice. So I will leave it at that, and I hope you guys have a great night. Okay? Bye.